NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell is facing pressure to speak out after a fan at Kansas City Chiefs game at the stadium over the weekend was spotted with black paint covering half of his face and wearing a Native American headdress.
Some Twitter users, however, noted that the article from Deadspin erroneously stated that the fan was wearing blackface. That was in the headline at Deadspin. Users on Twitter pointed out several fans in attendance noted the other half of his face is painted red.
What part of this is blackface? The right part or the left part? They're literally trying to ruin this little kid's life. If Kansas City Chiefs have any decency, they need to honor this kid at the next game. In fact, he needs like season tickets for the rest of his life.
The liberal mainstream media, ladies and gentlemen, it can't get any worse. It couldn't. I'm sure most of you have seen this because of how ridiculous all of it is. We have this story making the rounds of this kid who is being cancelled, some may say, because of the face paint he was wearing and the clothing he was wearing to support his team. A young fan turned up with his family to support the Kansas City Chiefs, and as you can see, the attire he was wearing caused so much controversy. Firstly, the face paint. People accused him of blackface. Oh, this is terrible, this is so racist. And then secondly, the Native American headdress, which also apparently is the biggest crime on the planet. Now, because these liberals are very emotional, they react very quickly, they have to jump on something before they actually know the whole story, they're kind of looking a little bit stupid now, because they thought this kid was wearing black face paint and obviously the Native American headdress, but if they just waited a little bit, they would have seen that he was actually wearing red and black face paint. Obviously, the Native American headdress has been labeled as cultural appropriation, even though he's just supporting his team. And this riled up a journalist so much so that they created an article essentially attempting to ruin this boy's life, ruin his reputation. And even though now we've seen that he's wearing red and black face paint, the article is still up. It hasn't been deleted, and I tell you now, it is one of the worst articles I have ever read. Now, before we get into this one, if you could, make sure to leave a like rating, as it really helps out the video. If you're new, hit that subscribe button and turn on bell notifications so you never miss a video. Comment on this video, share this video, and let's get into this one. A journalist at Deadspin, who goes by the name of Carron J. Phillips, goes on to report that NFL need to speak out against the Kansas City Chiefs fan in blackface, native headdress. It takes a lot to disrespect two groups of people at once, but on Sunday afternoon in Las Vegas, a Kansas City Chiefs fan found a way to hate black people and the Native Americans at the same time. It was as if John Gruden's emails had come to life. This is so disingenuous, because now it's all been fact-checked and the article again is still up. But how sad of an individual do you really have to be to create an article on a little kid? It's a boy and he's just supporting his team. But it's funny because this article is also based in hatred, is it not? I mean, you yourself, this journalist, hate groups of people too. For example, white people. If you just search white on his X profile, you can see multiple tweets of him criticizing and bashing white people. Now, let's say if a white journalist did this, and obviously the reverse was in play here, they would be fired after the first tweet. It's very interesting how the double standards work, isn't it? The image of a Chiefs fan in blackface wearing a native headdress during a road game leads to so many unanswered questions, does it? Why did the camera person give this fan the attention? Why did the producer allow that camera angle to be aired at all? Is that fan a kid/teenager or a young adult? Despite their age, who taught that person that what they were wearing was appropriate? This is what wokeness does to people. This is how people genuinely think. You know, whilst we're all over here asking the serious questions about life, people like this are sat there asking, well, why did the camera person give him so much airtime? Why did they think it was appropriate to wear red and black face paint? Now, by the way, the fact again that he's wearing red and black face paint and this article is still up is insane. It just shows you how deranged these people really are. But I guess journalism in 2023, It's embarrassing. The answers to all those questions lead back to the NFL, does it? While it isn't the league's responsibility to stop racism and hate from being taught in the home, they are a league that has relentlessly participated in prejudice. If the NFL had outlawed the chop at Chiefs game and had been more aggressive in changing the team's name, then we wouldn't be here. There's no place for a franchise to be called the Chiefs in a league that's already eradicated Redskins. This is what happens when you ban books, stand against critical race theory, and try to erase centuries of hate. You give future generations the ammunition they need to evolve and recreate racism better than before. At this point, seriously, I feel like I've woken up in a parody or something. There's no other explanation. But if you go against critical race theory, this is what happens. If you stand against a theory that teaches people to hate white people and everything to do with them, emotionally guilt trips white people to hate the color of their own skin, yeah, I think we should be standing against that. That theory in itself is evil, is it not? And the fact that you have an issue with people, I guess in general, just standing against critical race theory tells you all you need to know, doesn't it? These people are crazy. We are committed to inspire change and the social justice work that inspires change for the long term, Anna Isaacson, NFL's Senior Vice President of Social Responsibility, told the Associated Press back in 2021. This was the time when the league was beginning to allow players to wear decals on their helmets that read "Stop Hate, Black Lives Matter, Inspire Change," and say their stories as part of the NFL's social justice initiatives. Notice how it's usually referred to as social justice and not racial justice, as a way to soften the hate. It's an orchestrated way to distract you from the core issue. However, the insult from the league can be seen during each game as "End Racism and It Takes All of Us" are sketched in the end zones. Do you know how big your balls have to be to say that racism should be ended when you have a racist past like the NFL? It's as if Jim Trotter and Brian Flores aren't actively suing them for alleged racism right now, as the attorneys general in New York and California are also investigating them for similar allegations. The idea that it takes all of humanity to end racism is not only asinine but insulting and infuriating. By doing that, you're taking away the responsibility and necessity of accountability from the ones who created it and actively participated in it. It's also cruel, yes, it's so cruel, I'm crying right now, to expect the oppressed to assist their oppressors in the termination of their own oppression. This kid is oppressing people. He's supporting his team. He's doing nothing wrong. Nothing. So I do apologize. I really do. That you're so offended by what this kid did. I really am. This is a grown man, by the way, getting offended over a kid wearing red and black face paint and a Native American headdress to support his team. Time to get off this planet. As of now, the league hasn't released a statement on what took place in the stands in Las Vegas on Sunday. The photo of that fan floating around on the internet is beyond a bad look for a league, while simultaneously being what should be expected from the NFL. The NFL stands with the black community, the players, clubs, and fans, NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell once said. Confronting systemic racism with tangible and productive steps is absolutely essential. We will not relent in our work, and we will redouble our efforts to be catalysts for the urgent and sustainable change that our society and community so desperately need. 3 years after Goodell made that comment, the league is worse off than it was when the commissioner was scrambling during America's racial awakening in 2020. He apologized to Colin Kaepernick and allowed players to kneel in peaceful protest and promised that things would change. Nothing has, and after what we saw on Sunday, it feels like nothing ever will. This man needs the biggest violin that exists on this planet. Truly, he does. But this is the point we have now reached, ladies and gentlemen, and it is a fantastic time. People getting offended over a kid and the stuff he was wearing. Journalists, again, by the way, and they're creating articles on this and getting paid for it, and it still hasn't been removed. This kid has been painted in such a negative way, and by some people on the internet as well who are overly emotional about everything. So you have to wonder, how does this kid feel? Because he simply turned up to the game probably all happy, wanting to support his team. He's there, he's having a great time. He gets home and his family are talking to him and they're seeing what's going on the internet, and they're probably all sat back thinking, wait, what's going on here? How dare they paint my son in such a bad way? And also, he insulted his family, did he not? This journalist went on to say, well, who taught this boy that it was okay to wear such things? You can't stop racism in a household, insinuating that his family are racist. Now, the journalist who created this article and posted it onto X has actually deleted the post, as you would expect, because he has been absolutely roasted by people on social media. The support for this boy has been overwhelming, as it should be. And interestingly, whilst a lot of liberals joined on the bandwagon and said, oh, this is racist, etc., there are some leftist liberals who are sat there thinking, wait, hold on, this is a bit too far now. But in saying that, I must say, and it did slip my mind, all the hate this man is now getting on social media because of this horrible article he created, I guess is just a huge sign of white supremacy. It really is. So I do apologize. I should be doing better here. I really should. It's disgusting. The liberal mainstream media. Love it. Leave your thoughts down below on this one. Ladies and gentlemen, what are your thoughts on this article that was created, the reaction to it? I'd like to know. If you have enjoyed today, then please for me also, make sure to leave a like rating. Again, if you're new, hit that subscribe button and turn on bell notifications so you never miss a video. Comment on this video, share this video. Tomorrow, I have a very, very special video. If all goes well, you guys are going to want to see that one for sure. It's going to be amazing. But until tomorrow, it has been your boy JD. Have a great day. And as always, stay safe. I'm out. Peace. Well, Darth Maul's got to be sat there thinking, wait, hold on a second, guys. Are they going to cancel my films because I was wearing some black paint on my face? It could be blackface from a certain angle, right? Are they going to...